What up there, guys? This is Jughead82, and this is a video for anyone who is a fan of the Ghostbusters series. Now, I love Ghostbusters. I think it's one of the movies of the 80s that made the 80s. And also the fact that I just liked everything about the Ghostbusters. I like the casting of the movie and so forth. And this is pretty much my opinion about what's going on in the Ghostbusters universe. Apparently, they are going to go with a reboot, and it's official, basically, from what I've read here on Yahoo, that it's official that there is going to be a Ghostbusters reboot. It already has a screenwriter and a new team, and the new team will be women. Yes, the women Ghostbusters. Now, first of all, before someone says you're a sexist, this is my opinion about the Ghostbusters franchise in general. I think Ghostbusters, when you say it, the names that pop up are the late, great Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, Annie Potts, Rick Moranis. You think of those people associated with Ghostbusters. Now, to me, I feel that literally, Ghostbusters in general has been the sequel. At least a third Ghostbusters movie has been talked about since like 1999. Hell, probably even before that. And it's always been either it's almost going to be pushed, or all of a sudden something comes in a way where it's not. A couple of reasons were maybe from, if you look at the history, is that Bill Murray didn't want anything to do with being in another Ghostbusters movie and so forth. And literally, when Harold Ramis passed away, that was pretty much just, thrown under the carpet because, of course, you want to have all the original Ghostbusters in the movie. Now, it's always kind of crazy that they'll talk about a new Ghostbusters movie coming out, and then and then also the fact that there were plans of doing it recently when they talked about a Ghostbusters 3 and having it where when they did the movie and so forth, it would be kind of like a passing of the torch from the original Ghostbusters to a new cast. And there were people talking about that some of the creators of the writers of the show, The Office, were going to have something to do with the new Ghostbusters movie and so forth. And they even had a bunch of names thrown out there like Ben Stiller and so forth. But with this new Ghostbusters movie being an all-female cast, they're kind of going the route of Bridesmaids and of course the Heat, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Bridesmaids in the Heat, which starred Miss McCarthy and Miss Sandra Bullock, was a funny ass movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and basically the casting is pretty much like this as it relates to Miss McCarthy, and as fellow bridesmaids, Kristen Wiig, and so many other people that were in that movie are being rumor names that are being thrown in the rumor mill. I think if it's going to be done, it's going to be done, but at the same time, I have this kind of weird feeling in my gut that it's not going to be what people think it's going to be. For me, like I say, Ghostbusters, to me, is always going to be the characters that I've known from the series. I think that if you try to, because they've literally tried to remake the 80s a lot. I mean, you've had that with RoboCop. Of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did pretty decent in theaters. But, I mean, sometimes you got to look at what you're getting yourself into, and is it really best for business to continually try to revamp on something that was already successful, and what it means to, put something out that many people might not want to have come out. And when you look at these remakes that they've been coming out left and right, and it's like I said, it's not a knock if it is an all-female cast or whatnot. It's just a fact that you're looking at a franchise. The last Ghostbusters movie was released in 1989. when people say the movie Ghostbusters, there are a bunch of younger people that don't even remember the movie, or probably weren't even born when the movie first came out. So you're kind of dealing with a double-bladed sword on whether or not to capitalize on a franchise like Ghostbusters. And to me, like I say, Ghostbusters for me will always be the classic. Ghostbusters 1 and 2, through and through. And I will have that kind of neat, kind of niche, or kind of just to even trying to even think of even seeing a different take on the Ghostbusters series. I think, to me, it would be amazing to see Ghostbusters 3 in a sense where you actually do have the cast from, or some of the members of the original cast make a cameo or just something to give this movie a more validation. But at the same time, you know the saying, you're kind of beating something that has been talked about ever since 1999. And of course, at the end of the day, you got to look at what you're doing to the fan base that actually enjoyed the first two movies. And what are you trying to obtain by rebooting a series like Ghostbusters? But as it relates to that answer, and I'll say it like this, I feel that just leave Ghostbusters alone, man. I mean, you pretty much can say we had a third movie when you talk about the game, Ghostbusters, the video game. And I might kind of do a little mini review of that one day. But, man, just leave Ghostbusters alone. It was a great movie, a great series, great cartoon series. I love the real Ghostbusters also. But I just think it's just time to just let it be. But yeah, this is Jughead82. Hopefully putting another couple of more videos out there for you guys. Signing off.